So out of all the skills you've learned throughout the series, horseback riding, swordplay, shinty, doctoring, axe, knives, butchering animals, language, etc., which was the most difficult to make look realistic, and how comfortable were you with it? And do you use any of these skills in your everyday life?
Good question. Katrina.
Okay, the most difficult one to make look real and to learn, and I learned it, and then I had it, and then I completely forgot it the next season, is the one-handed stitch that they do as a surgeon. That's difficult. I mean, it's got to be the most difficult thing a surgeon does, you know? It's a joke. I made a joke.
The thing is, everyone in the audience doesn't realise that we can't hear any reaction when we're speaking. I don't know, I'm just speaking out to the ether.
Anybody else?
Want to go to the next question?
Anybody else? Nothing?
Hi, I'm Jennifer from New York. Since there's been such a long period of time between seasons, did you lose your mannerisms, accent, and is it harder for you to get back into character since you've done other projects?
I'll jump in here. I think, I don't know, I think we've been doing it for quite a while now that, you know, once you're back on set, and even though this was slightly different circumstances, especially with COVID and all the protocols, but like, after you've been back for like half a day, you're like, oh, it's like you never went away. And yeah, I was saying the other day, I was couldn't remember my accent, but I think once, you know, you put all the clothes on and you're back with everyone, and there was so much prep involved as well, which is great. You know, all the directors come on board and we get time with them, and with the writers too. So, yeah, it just feels like wearing, I don't know, an old glove or something. You just slip back into it.
An old glove.
An old glove. A very old ginger glove. Yes. Yes. Or a ginger wig.
Anybody else struggle to get back into character after time off?
No, but I think it's like Sam said, I think sometimes you're apprehensive and you think as you're going into it, you're like, oh God, I don't remember what I do and how am I going to get this? And as soon as you put the costume on or as soon as you get your wig on, it just clicks in, you know.
Or the wooden hand.
Hi, I'm Felicia. I'm from Brooklyn. I had a question. So Jamie delivers Lionel to his brother Richard in the final episode. Are we going to see Richard seems to make a little bit of a threat to him. Are we going to see that kind of come full circle this season?
Yes, so in the last episode last season you see that Jamie, you know, returns with Lionel's body and has sort of seeked out revenge for what happened to Claire, and I mean, I think it's pretty clear that this is only the beginning of an even bigger, deeper animosity between the two. The Browns are very dangerous, and Richard is extremely dangerous man, and very powerful as well. So yes, I think is the short answer. You're going to see a lot more of the Browns, and they're not very nice people.
Thank you.
There's Claire in the front row.
Hi, Claire.
I'm Aunt Jocasta.
Oh yes, it was the wig. I should have realised.
Oh.
Hi, Auntie. Sorry, I didn't recognise you with the mask on.
Has anyone seen Ulysses? My question is, with the COVID protocols, what were some kind of production, directing decisions, scripting decisions that you had to change to accommodate all the precautions you had to take?
I mean, this is a hard show because I do know some shows completely revamped for COVID. We don't have the kind of show that you can completely do differently. I mean, obviously, if it was a perfect world, there'd be no interaction between the characters. You'd have two people in the scene, et cetera, et cetera. We couldn't really do that with this show. So, you know, obviously we tried as best we could to limit the amount of people in scenes. It was, as the actors know, really hard because once again, there are scenes that just call for more people. So it was kind of every scene, every day, every week, kind of a recalculating of how many people can we have here safely. We had a COVID testing station at our facility to make sure everyone was safe. You know, I think we did the best we could in the face of pretty difficult circumstances, and obviously as you all know, wearing masks, no one likes to do that, but everyone did, and I'm really proud of how we did this season, that we got out of there without, we had no COVID on set. We did a really good job, and a huge thank you to our production crew for doing that, and the actors for hanging in there, and everybody. It was challenging.